the Quran, which will be taken by one of our brothers, very esteemed brother from the Department of Agric Engineering, actually Agric and Environmental Engineering, a student of Kedawo, our brother Rashid Abdullah. So, where is brother Rashid? Now, Assalamu alaikum. Let's say Allahu Akbar. Now.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم يروا أنا جعلنا الليل ليسكنوا فيه والنهار مبصرا إن في ذلك آيات لقوم يؤمنون. ويوم ينفخ في الصور ففزع من في السماوات ومن في الأرض إلا من شاء الله وكلنا آتوه داخرين. وترى الجبال تحسبها جامدة وهي تمر مر السحاب صنع الله الذي أتقن كل شيء إنه خبير بما تفعلون. من جاء بالحسنة فله خير منها وهم من كل فزع يومئذ آمنون. ومن جاء بالسيئة فكبت وجوههم في النار هل تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون. إنما أمرت أن أعبد رب هذه البلدة الذي حرمها وله كل شيء وأمرت أن أكون من المسلمين وأن أتلو القرآن فمن اهتدى فإنما يهتدي لنفسه ومن ضل فقل إنما أنا من المنذرين وقل الحمد لله سيريكم آياته فتعرفونها وما ربك بغافل عما تعملون. اللهم الحمد لله.
Allahu Akbar. Let's say Jazakumullahu khairan. Allah bless our calling. Now, so moving on, we'd like to welcome a number of people to our high table, high table. Inviting a number of people to our high table. To start with the president, as we call him, President General of MSSNUI. As we are all in here now, so that we are enjoying the AC, enjoying everything. The controller that makes everything possible is the President General, like I said. That's the Amir of MSSNUI. Who knows his name? Yeah. Seems like you are very active. Who's here by the Yamedu? Okay, what's the name of Yamedu? Fresh and Mocha, that's very good. How many of you know his name again? Let's welcome brother Sirojin Abdul. Let's allow Akbar. I'm not going to come to the fires. Ẹ má tẹ̀jú wá mi ní bí ló ṣẹlẹ̀. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ mi máa ń lójú wọn, wọ́n máa ń dùn sọ. Now, moving on, let's welcome another one of our speakers today. One of our speakers today. Let me first welcome him. He's a grad. I'm going to start saying what you want to say about him. I'll keep them to the guys who want to speak. Not now. But he's a graduate of the Department of Agricultural Extension and Rural Development. Brother Adeyemi Fawaz Adedoyin. Let's say Allahu Akbar. Let's say Allahu Akbar. Let's say Allahu Akbar. You knew brother was whenever he says he was. If you know who he is, oh my God, if you know who the brother is, that's correct. Or if you knew who he is, you cannot know who he is. How will you know who he is? And you know, greatest UI student. Okay, báwo ni wọ́n jẹ́ ẹni láti Yorùbá yìí máa lọ, káwọn ọmọ wẹ́ẹ́sì jẹ́ ẹni. I'm going to, you know that we have brought big people. How to do this like that? I would like to welcome the presence of another one of our speakers today. He is a 200 level student of the Department of Computer Science. Let's say another one. And when you do computer science, it's like computer science is excellence. Now, computer science, let's say another one. They mentioned on this very, very good, inshallah. I'd like to welcome brother Awaz to the IB. Where is he now? Welcome, sir. Now, so we are also joined by another of our speakers. He is a graduate. I won't mention all his accolades now. Graduate of the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering in Brother Ahmed Abdullah Shola, also known as Sula. Let's say Allahu Akbar. Also on that table is our directorate of Solar. The chairman of the directorate of Solar. The director of studies. Everything has to be clear to every single academic program. Very soon we are going to have a program for grant award of academic excellence. I will give different kind of awards to professor students. Yes, everybody will give them award. All of that. And the chairman, director of studies, director of studies, Brother Ibrahim. Everybody stands up. Let's have a so moving on to the welcome address by the host. That is the challenge to do now. What's the name? Who is the name? Anybody? And I said I will do something. So welcome address for this welcome address. Let's allow Akbar.
Sorry. So I would like to stand up and address you. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Firstly, I would like to start.
I do. So I appreciate every one of us that is present.
So
Your presence really has impact in this program. So
I pray Almighty Allah be with you and guide you. So and so I really appreciate down here. So your presence here has impact on the program because program is of two parts: the guest and the audience. So if there is no guest, there is no program, and if there is no audience, there is no program. Also, I would like to apologize for the program starting late. So that was not intentionally. So it's what happened. So we are very sorry for that. So as it has been said, my name is Ibrahim Olubade, 500 level, 79 at Faculty of Tech. So by Allah's will, I serve as the Director of Study, MSSNUI. So I would like to welcome you again to University of Ibadan. As it has been said, the home of giants, as the VC of UI called it. So again, welcome to MSSNUI and students the campus UI. You're automatically a MSSNUI member. So you being here today is not just coming here to attend the program, but fulfilling part of your responsibility. So part of your responsibility is to attend programs organized by the society, because this program is definitely organized for you. So may Allah bless the organizer too. So I won't like to take much of our time because our first speaker is already on seat. So I just like, as it was said, come prepare, come to learn, so and come to what conquer. So I pray that this program, for the speaker and for the listener, may Allah make it beneficial. So I hope you have it your books. Just that our speaker here is fully loaded. So please let's try as much as possible to jot things down and make it beneficial for you. May Allah use it for you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
let's thank you very much, sir. That's yours. I would like to introduce the Amira of MSSNUI. I think someone started already. You already know her. You know the Amira is. You don't know the Amira is. If you, maybe I'll just do that for you. Did I do this for you? You must know the Amira is. Okay, so I'll call my account number. You want to pay 10,000. I'll ask for Amira for you. Take him pay. I will pay. 90. That's all. Yeah. Get ready. 8067. Automatically get out. Now. So the other one said you are even though the time was free, was only they said you that don't put that in it. The matter you get it. Another one said you are so that's about the person of Sister Marina Papa Assalamu
alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I appreciate every one of you for being here. May Almighty Allah make this program a beneficial one for each and every one of us. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Sisters. I would have said you are asking for the disorder. Everyone is doing the whole lot. Alright, there is no, there's no. Okay, so we use our first speaker, and as we introduce us for just like I don't know what about. You know what BGS is? What BGS is? Let's have BGS. You know what I think BGS? All my BGS of the planetary faculty. Faculty like the BGS like that faculty. All my BGS of the language of the Alright, so our first speaker is Business Analysis Student of Department of Lecturer and Engineering, also Business Analysis of Faculty of Technology. He is also a potential. What is that? Not say what is but so the potential BGS is also technical. You know what it is? When you do your technical, by the way, you don't say, oh, you have to do and you can also what is all of that and do it for BGS and then it's about energy. Say energy. That's the reason I call it energy. And all something is having very, very good and that will not. Brothers and sisters, welcome to see, like I said, BGS is one of BGS is one of the data analysis BGS. That's of this of Plano, what are the names of life?
Assalamualaikum.
I welcome you to
the first anniversary. I would like to apologize for coming late. I never thought I'm going to be first speaker. So I'm sorry about that. Also, this is the first time I'm attending gathering like this because during our own time, that was during COVID. Online class, that was when I started virtual classes. That was back in 2021. So this is the time I'm attending something like this. Now I'm not attending as a person, I'm attending as one. So congratulations on your admission. A lot of you wrote WAEC, OJAM, OCTME, and to be in the University of Ibadan, that means you are the best amongst your peers. So today, your Director of Studies, which happen to be a fellow Techite, though I've graduated now, and also the previous Director of Studies was from my faculty. The previous one, the one before the previous one was also my coursemate, Brother Babasit. So he gave me a topic which is Architect of Excellence, Designing a Legacy Beyond the Transcripts. Architect of Excellence, Designing a Legacy Beyond the Transcripts. So I don't know if any of us know about what a transcript is. You people are freshers, you won't probably know what a transcript is. No, I'm not going so. So a transcript is like a paper you get at the end of each session from your department. It contains your results, your grade, and then your cumulative grade point average. And your GPA is just like the average of all the weighted average of all the courses you are taking in the university. So I believe you will. I believe the reason why they just gave me this topic is just to look beyond getting that perfect CGPA, beyond getting that first class, beyond getting A's. You understand? Because if you only come to the University of Ibadan to only have a perfect CGPA, then after that perfect CGPA, then what? So I believe that having the perfect CGPA is like the barest minimum that thing that you can achieve in this school, right? Because getting A's is quite very, very easy. You understand? So getting A is easy. So you are meant to look beyond getting A. So that drives me to the next point. So the architecture of a legacy. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when a person dies, all their deeds come to an end except three things, right? The sadaqah, knowledge, and then the righteous child who pays for their parents, right? So the point I'm trying to derive from that particular place is the beneficial knowledge here, because we all came here to acquire knowledge, right? And also, the first verse that the Almighty Allah revealed to the prophet is "Iqra bismi rabbika." So read in the name of your Lord. And also, that brings up to the point that you actually performing excellently well is an amana, right? So, what are now the architects of being accent of excellence? Number one is intellectual excellence. As I already said, pursuing that academic excellence is not just like a personal ambition. It's an act of ibadah, because as a Muslim, if you look at when every one of you look around your classes, you look at the population of Muslims compared to the Christians. In my class, we are probably like 8 Muslims or 9 Muslims, or there. We are the ones with the lower population. So performing excellently well, staying at the top of your class is also an act of ibadah. So it's something that we tend to encourage amongst our Muslim brothers, that we want ourselves that academic excellence, right? So the second one I would like to talk about is the visionary leadership. And it really pains me when we see our Muslim students, a lot of you, they probably selected your course reps and also people in charge of your class and all. But Muslim students do not want to take on some of these responsibilities, which is not something that's actually nice. You are meant to be there. If you want someone to become the course rep, be the one to nominate yourself that, oh, I'd like to be the course rep, I'd like to be in charge of the class. So as a Muslim student, you are meant to want to be a leader in your class, and also you are meant to be a leader by example, right? You don't want to see a Muslim student that during examination malpractice, you are going to be the one that's being found there. It's something that we don't encourage amongst our Muslim brothers. So as I said, we want a leader, a visionary leader that doesn't just lead because you want to have it on your resume or your CV that, okay, I served as a course rep during my time in the University of Ibadan, or I served as the general secretary of my department during my time, but someone that wants to hold this leadership position because you really want to use this thing to serve the cause of Almighty Allah. So the number 3 pillar I would say is that is the community service, serving the Ummah with your degree. During our own time, when I was in 200 level, we bring ourselves to understand. So we started we led gigs, we come in here, we strategize each semester, we tend to teach each other, carry each other along, make sure at the end of the day, everybody attains that first class. And then if I'm quite right, I think all of us graduated, we produced like 5 first class, probably 2 second class upper and 2 second class lower, right? And when we are talking about the first class, aside me being the best graduating student in my department and in the faculty, we have people that are much more closer, because we are using 4.0 scale, we have 3.9, 3.8. It's not just ordinary first class. We are talking about people that are actually that will be ranked top 10 in the faculty, right? So these are the things that we did in our own time that actually pull us together and also makes us carry each other along in order to attain that high CGPA. Also, what I would like to address is that the pressure is that we actually felt like, okay, the university I'm coming is a competition, then I need to get A's in order to be the best, or I need to just be the one to all the lecture materials, or the one not to want to teach another person, because I don't want this other person to know more than I know, so that the person is not going to score above me. Well, I believe that that's a wrong notion. One of the things that has helped me during my stay in the University of Ibadan is that I do teach a lot. I was an MTSG tutor, like Muslim Intercareer Study Group. I was a tutor of 231. Then aside that, I teach majorly my classmates. I was an academic director of TESA in my 500 level. I served as an academic director of my department in my 300 level. So, like, if you are talking about numbers, I would have taught probably over 400 students in this school. So that when you teach people, you tend to understand most of these things more. So an example was that there was a protest in this school that was doing protest on the fee hike, and the university decided to give us a 3 weeks break. So there was one particular course that was in 400 level that deal with a very low level course where you do assembly and a lot of very low level. A lot of people find it challenging and every other thing like that. Try to learn that particular course very well. Then I'm going to announce on the Google, okay, let's have a tutorial. I will teach like virtual tutorial amongst ourselves, teach 6 hours, 7 hours, trying to just teach everybody how these things actually operate. So it's not as if that I'm seeing this thing as a competition, but it makes me understand this particular course way more than I would understand this course if I actually didn't teach anyone. So the point I'm trying to say is that most of you have friends, you know your friends, they seek your elders when you know that, okay, I'm not having time or anything. So once you teach people, you are going to understand most of this course way more. And as I've said, don't hold slides, because that's the very bad thing. Now, why will you be giving slides? Well, I myself, I don't used to have slides. I just sit. I just reach out to people and then ask them, send me these materials and all of that. And the other thing is that a lot of us do find it hard to reach out to people that, okay, I'm struggling with this so thing. Can you just explain this thing to me? I would say, as I am now, I wasn't at any point from my 100 level to 400. I wasn't the one with the high CPA in my class. I do reach out to people, even though I had a very high CPA from my 100 to 400 level. I do even my 500 level. I do reach out to people that, okay, Alpha, go and learn these things. Once you learn it, I'll come and meet you so that you can teach me. You understand? So I'm not shy to ask for help. So a lot of times, people that know me, I don't stay inside school, but they do see me at Melambi, probably doing that exam period. I do meet my top guys there. They learn some of these things on their own. I meet them, they tend to explain, and then I understand most of these things better, even way better than them at the end of the day. So the point I'm driving at is that quite a lot of us here, we are classmates, you understand? I'm trying to encourage us to pull ourselves together. We are the one with the low numbers in this school. So we are not meant to be the one, okay, this, because most of us don't even know ourselves. We just know, okay, this guy is my classmate. You don't really know whether they are Muslim. You understand? So it's best if you actually pull ourselves together, because Yoruba will say, people need poor, right? So when we tend to pull ourselves together, we tend to achieve greater things together. And also, in summary of what I said, if we teach one another things more, right? So that's going to let me move to the next thing, right? So the next thing I'm going to make mention about, that one of the synopses that that was sent to me, is the BGS responsibility, right? So once you are top of your class, you owe your fellow Muslim Ummah responsibility that you make sure that all your brothers and sisters in your class actually carry each other along. As I made mention that part of the deeds that gets you when one leaves the service of the art is that is the beneficial knowledge, right? Imagine you teach one person, and that one person teach 10 other person, and those 10 other person teach another 10 other person. So that's a legacy. You have that ICGPA, you won't be best graduating student in your class, best graduating student in the University of Ibadan, but at the end of the day, nobody cares, right? Nobody knows you didn't add anything to my life, and I didn't add anything to your life. At the end of the day, you just step outside the University of Ibadan, and that's all. So, but your legacy that's going to be in this school is that, okay, doing this particular, when I was having problem with these social courses, it was Brother Lambada, it was Sister Social, that actually explained these things to me, and at the end of the day, I was able to 4-point this course. I don't know if you see call for pointing because we are now using a 5.0 scale. So these are the things that are going to serve as your legacy in this university. And I'm coming over. Also, part of your responsibility is that you are meant to save each other from academic failure, because a lot of things do contribute failing, right? Because a lot of us, we are probably senior boys, senior girls can get consumed by the fact that, okay, from lectures to my hostel, from my hostel then to lecture classes, right? So you need to know what you want to achieve at the end of your stay in the University of Ibadan. Okay, at the end of my stay, I want to be so good at this social thing, because I believe when a lot of us here, I can say for my engineering people, that we do have expectations that, okay, once I finish from the University of Ibadan, should be able to build my own drone, I should be able to do this, I should be able to do that. I would say, I want to burst your bubble, but these things are not like that, they don't work like that. You don't spend 5 years and think that, okay, I want to start building my own cars, I want to start building things, especially people in electrical and electronics. Because I remember last session that we had our freshers welcome, a lot of them said, oh, I want to build my own robots, I want to do this, I want to do that. You know, actually how most of those things work. A lot of the times you even prefer the theory class more than the practical. So I won't really blame our lecturers, they are trying in terms of what they are giving you, because as far as Nigeria is concerned, I would say it's actually the same thing everywhere. It's the same thing everywhere. The lecturers from other schools are not better than the lecturers in the University of Ibadan. We have external lecturers that do come from other schools to teach us in the University of Ibadan. And I could say our lecturers are far, far better than them. Our lecturers are far, far better than those external lecturers that do come in here to teach you. So you need to know, okay, at the end of my program, this is what I want to achieve. For those in engineering, okay, I want to be able to build systems. I want to be able to do these particular things. It can only be possible, because I would say it won't be possible with what you are being taught in class, but you are going to be taught most things going to be theoretical, right? And the practical aspects is not really, you are not really practicalizing what's being taught in class. I will not lie to you. But when you speak to people, they are going to give you proper direction. You have seniors in the departments that, okay, you want to venture into this particular lane, then you should probably, okay, learn this programming language, learn that programming language. If you want to be able to build this thing, then you should have like core knowledge of this thing. Because even if you felt like, because a lot of narration that do go outside is school is a scam, you still need to come to school and actually still go and learn some skills all by yourselves and all. But what they don't understand is that a lot of these things that you are learning, you don't come to school, you won't even be able to actually like have a connection, like you won't be able to connect some of these dots together, right? An example, because I'm in engineering, I'm an electrical student, so that's why I'm using that to cite examples, right? If you want to say, okay, you want to build a drone now, you need a lot of things to actually build a drone. You need to write C programming, embedded C, in order to be able to control the drone. You need to know about IoTs and stuff like that, right? So in the course of trying to know some of these things, if you skip school, a lot of the fundamentals that you need in order to be able to understand some of the working principle and how to put some of these things together are actually being taught in class. But the whole mindset that some of us actually do have is that we just want to pass the exam. I believe that exam is just like an end goal. It's not like the process, right? Once you actually set sight on, okay, I only want to get that particular A, nothing else, then at the end of the day, you are not actually passing, you are not following the process, right? Because the process is that you are meant to fall in love with actually going to the class, whether you like the lecturer or not. Because there are some lecturers you're not going to like. You're going to actually, okay, I need to go to the class. I need to understand this particular concept that is being taught, right? After understanding this concept, I need to see that, okay, is there anybody around me that actually doesn't understand this thing, so that I can teach that particular person and also understand this particular concept more. It's only when you understand this thing that you have the confidence that, okay, if I go to the exam hall, then you are definitely going to get an A, right? So all these things is a process. When you fall in love with that particular process, then it won't be your problem. Because a lot of people, they set their side okay, I just need to get A. So they then now tend to look for shortcuts. Look for shortcuts in the sense that the only thing you actually tend to do is that, oh, let me just gather as much past questions as I want. In as much as solving past questions is actually a nice thing, it's not a bad thing. I do solve past questions too. But past question is not the first thing that you need to actually pick up, right? Understand some of these things that are being taught in class, right? Because at the end of the day, you are going to realize that when you get into the outside world, some of these things that you actually skip are things you are going to be asked in your interviews or whatever place that you find yourself, right? Because once you finish from school, they don't expect you to be an expert. But the foundations, the little things that you are overlooking for past question because you want to get an A, are going to be things that are going to be tested by the interviewer, right? So that's just how. So before you write an exam, I expect you that, okay, and you understand this particular concept, understand it so well that even if you have a 1 year old, you can explain that particular concept to that 1 year old that is going to understand. Because the mentality that I carry when I'm going to the exam hall is that, okay, the lecturer already taught me this course, I'm going to the exam hall to teach the lecturer too. So that's the main mentality you are meant to have. So that at the end of the day, I'll do the exam and you already know that, okay, this exam, there's no way this man is marking it that I'm not going to pass it. So that's the whole idea. And you can only get to that particular level when you fall in love with some of these processes. The processes you understand, you teach each other, you try to like brainstorm amongst yourself. Then at the end of the day, you write the exams and then you just get your A. Right? So the first one is know your why. When you are in your 100 level, this is time to actually ask questions. Meet with the stylites, ask questions about that you have. Ask them, okay, this is what actually interests me, and I pick this particular course. So I speak to people at high levels in your department. What do I tend to gain? I mean, if I finish from this school, this particular thing that I have in mind that I'm going to be able to do, will I be able to do it? If I study electrical and electronics engineering, if I finish my 5 years in this school, am I going to be able to build drones? Am I going to be able to build systems, right? So some of these things are the things that you need to ask your stylites. So once you ask them, that you okay, no like that, these things build. So you need to learn these social things on your own. You need to do these things on your own, right? So the next thing is that, as I've already mentioned, is to build and lead, right? So as I said earlier, as a Muslim, you are meant to take on okay, sure. So you are meant to take on leadership responsibilities. So it's starting from, okay, we have a group project that I want to do. Let me just be the group leader, right? I could remember during our 500 level, there was one particular course that we took that was on microprocessor. So we need to actually have a group project where we are meant to build an incubator. So I was the assistant course rep because people did not want to take on that responsibility. So I just said, okay, let me be the assistant course rep. So I volunteered to be the project group leaders, and one of my other guys volunteered to be the leader of the other group. So it comes with a lot of challenges, a lot of responsibilities, right? Because most people, they are not going to show up. They believe that since we already have group leader, then it's meant to get it done. Especially when it comes to group projects where everybody is going to actually contribute money. They believe once I contribute money, then my problem is solved, then the group leader and everybody is just going to get it done. So those are the challenges that come with leadership. And these are the things that actually train you. So because you are in this school, you are not meant to actually focus on the academic aspects. There are a lot of aspects to this school. We are talking about communication, leadership, talking about interpersonal relationships, how you relate with others, how you build connections and everything. Because the way I do tell people that your connections, when they tell you that, oh, you want to get into this so company, at the end of the day, your connections are these people, are these your classmates, are these your Muslim brothers that you actually know now. So because most of you could remember, if probably when you want to do your post-CME or something, probably some of you that are not staying in Ibadan, you told you want to do post-CME, that's okay, I know somebody somewhere that can actually give you accommodation that you can stay in order to be able to write your post-CME. So most of these things, they are connections that our parents are actually built in the past. So, and they build those connections some when they are in high institutions like this. So these are avenues for you to actually build solid connections and also take on leadership goals, right? So the next thing is deploy and transfer. So as a Muslim students, we are meant to solve societal problems, right? We are meant to solve problems in our society. And okay, I'll use our engineering people to make an example again because I'm quite familiar with those ones very well. So your final year projects you are building, there are a lot of problems around you, right? Electrical student, Ibadan's okay, the whole Nigeria is currently experiencing unstable electricity right now. So you are meant to build projects and also you are meant to transfer this knowledge. So in the course of transferring this knowledge, as I said, that's what entails actually teaching people, mentoring others, and also leading others too. So in conclusion, I would just like to leave you with this note. When they were introducing me, they said I'm the best graduating student from electrical and electronics engineering, best graduating in Faculty of Technology and potential in the University of Ibadan. What I'm going to leave you with is that all these things, they are not like what I set my sight on that, okay, I want to come to UI to be the best graduating student, or I want to come to UI to be the top of my class. So, and also that's evidence in the fact that, as if I outworked most people in my class. There are a lot of smart people, a lot of people that read so well. But what I carried along with me is that if I'm staying in the top of my class and also my Muslim brothers are actually feeling, I believe that I've failed as a Muslim. You understand? So at the end of the day, we are meant to carry each other along, and also, as I said, you are meant to fall in love in the process. So the process to getting the highest GPA will be understanding what you are being taught. You are meant to teach it to one another, brainstorm amongst yourself, carry your brothers along. Make sure as you are getting those A's, your brothers are also getting those A's, and at the end of the day, everything is going to fall in place. You are still going to get your BGS or whatever thing that you set your sight on, but if and only if you follow this particular process. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
DJ is all about music. I know the DJ, and I think we want DJ stuff. Now, I was bless our different DJs. So my was bless the maximum. So there's a lot of questions I want to ask. So yeah, I'm not going to address this. I'm going to address this. You're not writing down. Okay, so these are the videos of the so please let us try writing things down. Very, very important. Let us practice like in our classes. You can't be putting things in the like that. So please let us try writing like this. Writing like that, something for one. Craig was in Champions. I don't know where they get who actually now, so we have this, so we are going to take questions and answers So if you have any question, you have to have a question. You want to write it down, write it down password. You want to ask a question, write it down. No question. If you want to DJs, you got it. Never ask the question, never ask the DJs. So you don't have any question. What is the answer? Okay, this is how it's not answer. One, then what comes in? Okay, two. Anybody ask a question, are you scared?
Yes. Yeah.
Number three, on start. Number four, everything's happening. Okay. You talk to my, don't worry. You talk to my, two brothers. Number three. How do you say? Well, how many times I have to Alright, where is that? That's why it's not that's it's flying, you know. That is on where is the second mic? Another mic outside. Yeah, outside. How many people like that? Yes. I just doing this one. This one. Alright, so how we go last? Sorry, remember me. You know I don't
And questions, there are a lot of distractions in this. So as a person, how will you able to deal with these distractions and get results?
Okay. Now, you know how BJs have to use you want to take it one after another or stay together.
Yeah, some guy.
Okay. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. If you have question, write it down. Write it down. As soon as that is a using of this. So we take his address and then we take all the questions together. It's what behind. So write it down. What are the asked this question? What are the roles in the book to take this? No worry. All right. So moving on to our next speaker. One of the things that the previous speaker mentioned, which I really address with, is the importance of community association. I said he had a people and the UECS, and most of them had his awards. Oh, by the way, I'd like to welcome some of our very important guests to the item before we proceed. What I'd like to welcome is an engineer, a first-class graduate of the Department of Civil Engineering, former Director of Studies. You know what those things are? Former Director of Studies, a mentor, a teacher, a tutor, a motivator. What else? It's just much. Let's welcome engineer Olawu Abdullah. Let's say Allahu Akbar. Once again, if you know who he was saying the best line, whatever money someone gave you, let's say Allahu Akbar. That's what I'm saying. Also, I like to welcome the level administration of MSSN is MSNUI is a branch under MSN is and is the level administration of entire council. And I believe it also represents a bill of the entire council. That is a student of pharmacy. How many pharmacists are here? Say Allahu Akbar. Okay. President of pharmacy, University of Florida, Audu Ahmed. Say Allahu Akbar. You're welcome, sir. Part of the executive protocol of next speaker is a first-class graduate of a department of two departments, which is Arabic and Islamic studies, right? We do Arabic, people do Arabic and people do Islamic. For example, they have chess, carry words, soup. And surprisingly, not just the matter of I know people, very, 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 there's not too much of that needs to go in just graduate setting. So is first master, a lot of first master BGS, a lot of people was BGS, that's why who joins BGS, they are saying about join BGS, right? So we also the BGS and is a former regular of MSSNUI. In person of Brother Ahmed Tajudeen Adewale, he's going to be speaking on the topic Beyond Islam, which means sorry. He's speaking of Beyond Islam. So let's say Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وصحبه وأتباعه أهل الله إلى يوم نلقى فيه الله. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ultimate and the only controller of all affairs, the one who directs and administrates the affairs of his creatures. We praise him, we glorify him, we beseech his blessings upon the noblest of mankind, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the son of Abdullah. Benediction be extended over his household, his companions, and his followers until the day of Qiyamah. After praising Allah and sending salutations upon our Lord Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I will proceed with the acknowledgement of MSSN. So starting from the O1, the Amir of the society, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to be with him and his executive members and also the Muslim students at large in the University of Ibadan. And also, I acknowledge the presence of the guests here with me. So from Brother Abdullah, so the BGS of the Faculty of Technology, also the BGS in our midst, the BGS of Department of Agricultural Extension. So the brother whose name is Fawaz Adewale, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bless his ways. And also the Directorate of Studies, the immediate past one, we ask Allah to be with him. So the doors, the current doors, and the guests at large, may Allah be with each and every one of us. So now, moving on, with the next thing is that being here today, I'm happy and I see it as a privilege to talk with you all on the given topic, which is beyond the gown. So as you are now, I can see the enthusiasm in each and every one of you, because while we are still on campus as fresh graduates, we've been able to meet with many of you from my department and also from other departments, and I could see how happy you are. But the one thing we started tasting in this university is stress. I could see some of you, some brothers and sisters, when we meet with them, they'll be like, you are stressing me. So basically, it is how UI is structured. One important thing we need to know, based on the synopsis of the topic given to me, is as a student of the University of Ibadan, you've been talked to, and you shall continue to be talked to, on how to attain a first class. And that is what we settle for here in the University of Ibadan, and particularly MSN University of Ibadan. You'll be trained on having that first class. That is it. But one thing we should know is that we must believe in something called Al-Qadar. we can see a lot of efforts. Some people might put a lot of effort into attaining first class. If Allah does not want that, wallah, it will never be so. That is it. We've made scholars in this school. They've done so well. They've tutored, they've mentored, they've motivated a lot of people. They read, but then, as Allah willed, they had second class upper. This is not to look down on their efforts or to ridicule this set of people. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let us know that La yudhi'u Allahu ajra al-muhsinin. You try your best for the sake of Allah, but you will not have it. Allah will not let your effort go unrewarded. That is it. You don't need a lot of things to be said before you acknowledge the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the sole and ultimate administrator. That aside, I'm saying this because as you continue to pursue this particular academic excellence, there are a lot of challenges. But then put something at the back of your mind. Nothing will happen except by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is why any one of us, if we are able to attain what we want, we shouldn't be full of ourselves that yes, I'm this, I'm that. It is Allah who gives whomever wishes. But then there is concept of at-tawakkul. Tawakkul in the sense that you have to tie your camel, then you rely on Allah. Someone who is a mutawakkil is not someone that says, I rely on Allah, I'm praying. No. You work hard and you rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now, what the synopsis of this particular lecture is seeing the bigger picture of your field or your discipline. As you are in the University of Ibadan now, you met a lot of people, you started many processes. But then, should having first class be the peak of your goal as far as being a student of the University of Ibadan is concerned? No. That is a clear answer. No. Being the BGS, being a first class student is not the peak of everything. You need other things as ingredients that they must accompany that particular aim of having first class. So now many students, we all want to be in gap. And some of us here, some of the engineers in our midst, among the fresh graduates, they've been inducted into the engineering profession. And alhamdulillah, may Allah bless that for them. But some of us in other fields, we are waiting for the general convocation. That means we are all waiting to what? We are anticipating the wearing of our gowns. But when we wear the gown and we off it, is that the end? No. So now, what are the things you must put at the back of your mind as you are aspiring in this particular greatness of having first class and having coming up in a flying color? So the things you need to know is that as a Muslim and as a student of the University of Ibadan, aspiring this particular excellence, you have to look at your field or discipline from a bigger perspective. Yes, I'm a graduate of Arabic and Islamic Studies combined honors. But the thing is, when I personally derived or I started having ambition of being Arabic scholar, as I would love to mention. So that started from when I was in SS1. When I said that, we were having kind of career talk and being the BGS in my secondary school. So when we were asked, every one of us, science students, art students, commercial students, what do you want to become? So every one of us started saying what they wanted to say. But to my teacher then, so I said to the class, I want to be an Arabic scholar. Everybody would look like, out of all professions, Ahmad, what do you say? My teacher asked me, I said, yes, I want to be an Arabic scholar. She was like, do you really, like she was flabbergasted. She was surprised that what could lead Ahmad to saying that he wants to pursue this kind of what? Profession. So, but then I had to meet with her because she's someone very close to me. And I explained, before you can derive a passion for anything, make sure you know what you are going for. Many of us here, so let's say we were able to get because we aspired. Just like me, I only wanted Arabic. I don't want any other thing. That's it from the onset. So while my friends are going for other courses, even those that in the class, they are not as good as I am. They went for other disciplines. But then I made sure that this is what I want and I will go for it. So now, looking at your field in a bigger view or perspective is one of the things you need right now as a student of the University of Ibadan. It's not just I want to have the first class. So now one of those ways you can have that is you meet with intellectuals in your field. Let's say everyone is intellectual, but one thing is there will be some figures in your department or anywhere you find yourself. I know that these people, they are ambitious. That's one of the things you need. When I entered into the University of Ibadan, while I'm still trying to see Arabia in a bigger perspective, the then Naibul Amir of MSNUI then was Naibul Amir Mustafa, who later became Amir of Akinyele Area Council. He was on a perfect CGPA 4.0 then, as far as the University of Ibadan is concerned. So I met with him, knowing about that, being a student who participated in, as a fresher, who was trying to be in attendance for MSN programs. I heard our Nebula was on perfect CGPA then. So I tried to meet with him. Since he was combining Arabic and Islamic studies, because in my unit, in my department you have 3 units. You can study Arabic alone, you can study Islamic studies, and you can study both. So he was studying both, and I saw him to be someone approachable as well as our neighbor Amir. So I met with him. That's sir, I entered. Okay, I'm planning to join both. I'm working towards combined honors. But I see you are an excellent student. How can you shed more light on this particular journey of being an Arabic student? Because you are in 200 level, while I'm in 100 level, what can you share with me? So one of those things he actually explained to me is that, my brother, university, one thing you must first think of, whatever you want to see as a bigger picture of your field, is attain your first class. He told me that there are a lot of benefits, opportunities in the world as an Arabist internationally. But the thing is that you must be good in your field. So the international policies do not welcome someone who is in a field of Arabic, as an example, and the person is not someone who excels in it. He let me know that. Make sure you go for your what? For your first class. And Nabil Amin was telling me then that you must give it all what it takes. Wallahi, that's what he was telling me. That whatever it takes, do not relent. May Allah bless him. So now, when he said this, I was shocked. Like, I should give it all what it takes. He said, this UI is not a joke. So he made it clear to me. And that's one of those things that me personally, I've been able to pass down to my juniors in the department. And alhamdulillah, many of them today, they are on a very high grade as far as the department is concerned. That is Allah's mercy. So now, he let me know that, okay, being an Arabist and you graduate from the University of Ibadan, it is not restricted to Nigeria alone. The Arabists, the profession of being an Arabic scholar is needed all over the world. But you must have something which you could have heard of at Madrasa. And that thing he told me was Al-Husulu ala-Shahada. That is, the word relies majorly on what? On certificates. Okay, you are telling us that you can speak Arabic. As an example, I'm talking about the opportunities in my field now. You can speak Arabic, okay? But you go to Germany, you go to Qatar, you go to Kuwait, do you have certificates for that? If you don't have, if you go to United Kingdom, you want to work as an Arabist there, do you have certificates to back that up? If you don't have that, then the world will just be like, what are you even saying? So with this, he lets me see that particular word, that particular vision, that it is not a joke. You've been here, you have to give it all what it takes. And from there, I started to develop myself. Because as an Arabist, what is the essence of being an Arabist as an example? And you cannot even speak well of the words of the language you learn. So I saw my mates, many of our mates, while we've been told that we need to develop beyond just being a first class student or whatever it may be, we need to what? We need to have extra things. So that's why we started. It was like we are forcing ourselves. We are in a university whereby many speak English as the predominant language because we are Arabic students. So we force ourselves that whenever we are together, we speak in Arabic. Whenever we are together. And one of those things that we were counseled with by our lecturers, the likes of Professor Ladusu and the likes, when we entered was like, you are in this department, but then you are not meant to even just be a good speaker of Arabic as far as the University of Ibadan is concerned. You must know how to speak English language as well, and we made them like that. May Allah bless the lecturers. So now, in every field we find ourselves, let's see a bigger picture of that particular discipline. Medicine is there for you, engineering is there for you. Don't just think about being an engineer. That's all. I want to have a certificate. What is the bigger picture of that particular discipline you find yourself? One of those ways you can know about that particular bigger picture we are talking about is move close to those who excel already in that particular field, maybe among your seniors or those who have graduated. So that is how the university is structured, and that's one of the things we must know. Another thing is your degree is a foundation and not a cage. One of the things we must know is that we find ourselves in different disciplines now. Some of us are from College of Medicine, some of us here, we are from Faculty of Science, Pharmacy, and the likes. But then, should our degree that we are pursuing be a cage for us? No, it is not a restriction. Just be someone who only think that I am this field, and it is a must. It must be the only thing I will restrict myself to. No, because we find a lot of brothers or sisters in this campus that we actually know them on this campus. They got the degree for maybe a Greek or science, in science or art or whatever it may be. But today they become researchers. They became researcher badge of completing your education from the University of Ibadan. That when you look back, you'll be like, MashaAllah, I've been able to attain this together with my with my degree. So now look at one of the things we learned when we were freshers like you, that I could remember. I was able to attend MSN UI orientation when I was in 100 level. I attended that of my department, I attended that of my faculty, I attended that of SU as well, because we were new to the system. We were like University of Ibadan.
You got my contact from my YouTube channel and said you want to register for I don't know how to do man. I was just like, it was a shock. So I don't know what to say. That opportunity went away. So that's when I sat down that, yes, there should be something you should do. And I'm like, okay. So you not just say you are posting videos. And that led to me establishing the institute. And what I don't think has helped me in establishing this institute as well is the kind of resilience we built as students of the university when we were having sleepless nights, reading at Central Mosque at the department, that we shall want to have that as well for class. So all these kind of things as students will be doing TDB, LTA, you will not know the effects, the impact of those things on you, except when you are about to use it. That's what like when others are doing things that they see as strenuous. You as a student of university value, you've been trained in a way that people see as hard. To move find all those things hard or difficult. You're like this student who are come from other places, they see it as hard. But the thing is, they've been built that way. So that's about it. And the last point I'm mentioning is build something that outlives you. As students, beyond the gown you want to wear, beyond the excellence you pursue, beyond the goal of being a BGS, so that you build something that outlives you. Build something that wherever you are, it speaks for you. Build something that not even when you are on the surface of the earth that it will be useful for you, but even after your death. Impact, it is very essential. Don't just come to this university and not on campus here. Whenever you find yourself at your department, at your faculties, at every stage you are, majorly, predominantly, make sure you are impactful. Try as much as possible to train people with whatever you learned. There was a particular course in kindergarten level. This particular course, I do not have time to read it. Majorly, one of the reasons is known to me and due to responsibility and everything. So now, that course is Islamic Africa. It's an Islamic course, an Asian course. So now, it is so broken because you read about how Islam reached Nigeria, Ghana, Mali, Egypt, and you must know everything of it. It is so broken and a lot. But the thing is that I know that the only thing I want to any course, that's the kind of thing I am. I don't think of any other thing. So if I'm going for any course, it may not be possible or so it may not be that big, but I will have almost everything. That's it. With the help of Allah. So now, the thing of that, I know that with my capability, I cannot have A in this course. It's because of our professor. So I cannot have A. I should not deceive myself. So I moved close to my classmates. I was like, shit, teach me this, teach me that. So they were like, you guys know, you know this now, you are wearing yours. You know better than that. I was like, no, it's not about, no, you know better than I want to make. This is really urgent. And they now told me that, okay, if that is true, the thing is, since you have other parts of the course, you know that you know those parts. The only thing is that whenever I want to enter any course, any exam hall, I know that I will make sure that's one of the things you all must put at the back of your mind. Make sure if it's possible, cover every part of your material. If it's possible for you. And that's one thing I make sure that I know. That I must understand every topic before I enter the exam hall. Because I'm not looking at anybody. You cannot call me and I will not call you. It's an abomination. That's the kind of person I am. So with that, I know that I will not tell you. So if I don't know any part, it is gone, go to law. I cannot say, please, what is this word? What is salary? So with that, one of them, if I enter the hall, see, if one should explain, I should ask for that particular person that I don't cover, that part, I will see myself what we do. And I will be so depressed, or let me say devastated, that way. Because I don't want to get anything less than what than A. So I told my friends, please teach me. You now say, okay, what you two you know, you teach us too. That is it. You want to teach us. And I stayed to say that even at Central Mosque. So to say there, I was teaching them, this you are teaching me. Behold, everything that I read, that me I was, and there was a particular thing that came to my mind before I went to today. I was like, don't meet anybody, just go to the exam hall. You've read a lot now, but I know there is still a little part late that I got it. In my particular course was going to my mind. I just go to the exam hall. You've read a lot. So, all what I read, out of the 100% of the question that came out, what I read was just like 40%. What my friends taught me, it was not to the other part. And I was able to get A in the course. So now, that's one of the things you must know. You have to be impactful. And one thing, you must be humble as well. Not everything is not like, I'm the best now. I'm the best. This one will now teach me. No. This is universal value. You must not bring down your wings. So that's one of the things you must learn. That's one of the things that helped me, shaped me to now think of how can I be impactful. So if I want to talk of the major impacts I personally had on this campus, in which I would like to encourage everyone of you to be there as well, is that be at MSN University. So everything started from Queens Woman. So although from Howard to Queens, then also to the position of the level. So it was hectic. It was hectic movement. It was an hectic movement. But then wallahi, you should leave it with a class of media. Make sure you are sincere. But the thing is that no matter how ethic it could be, La yudi'ullahu ajra al-muhsinin. Allah will not deny you the rewards. That's it. You will find ways that Allah will help you in an unimaginable way. So that is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards his people. And I will end this particular talk with a hadith of Rasul Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that says we should encourage you on being impactful. إذا مات ابن آدم انقطع عنه عمله إلا من ثلاث. The first one is صدقة جارية أو علم ينتفع به ولد صالح يدعو له. When you die, when everyone of us here will die, I will die, كل نفس die according to God. Everyone of us will die. So when we die, nothing will be left for us. That's it. You won't have your account of good deeds, bad deeds to be closed. You won't have access to any good deeds again, except 3 things you will enjoy. And even after you have died. The first thing is Sadaqatun Jariyah. It is a flowing sadaqah, a charity you've done before you die. Still making use of it even after you death. The second is the knowledge you've impacted people with before you die. Whatever knowledge you have, don't just learn, teach and train people all over the world, no matter what your field could be. Because as you die and people continue to use that knowledge, you shall continue to see the mercy of Allah in your grave. And the last is a good offspring, child praying for the dead. You have for the dead. You ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make these gifts that we had beneficial to both the one saying it and those who are listening to it. إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاكم الله خيرا. جزاكم الله خيرا. May Allah bless our name.
So they have blessings and the other side I mentioned, very big models are a county, all over the world. Really, this was very and I go to the admission COL, I have 4 COLs. Who else knows COL? Okay, I'm a COL. I'm a COL. Example of them. No, I'll tell you secrets. I'm not sure. You know that thing. I used to now, to see an example of them is Madrasa that's run here in MSS environment. Get to know about or ensure that you are things. Everybody attending to so now we'll go to question and answer, and I will be answering the questions. We'd like to appreciate the presence of our speakers. And we want to say that they are not so genial, so cutesy. I mean, very genial also. Love the God. Anyway, that is okay. Our speaker are recognizing is a forefather of the department of law, department of law, faculty of law. Because the matter is not done. Okay, yeah, and faculty of law is one of the very best students departments. Very best classmates, what she says, I don't know, best was Sister Lamia Olayemi. Say I used to sisters. When I saw the what did you get down?
You see that laptop, but when the brother you give them very all the best solution. Now, so move on to the question and answer segments. If you have questions, I don't want us to go back and forth with the questions. I want to do everything if you have a question, let's see your hand up. If you want to write it on the book or paper, please write it now and pass it to officers. I want to mention this.
Are you ready? Do you have questions?
So if you have questions, where is the other mic? This is the last question. I think those ones. Somebody in the mic. And I can't be hanging around now. So your question is just take it, yes. And you can choose if you want to direct questions.
Someone.
Or you can just raise the air.
My question is, how do you deal with distractions in university?
So, all right, dealing with distractions, there are quite a lot of distractions in this school, right? Even from your hostels, departments, you have a lot of events waiting for you, faculty, even from SU and the likes like that. I would say the best way to deal with it is that you have a lot of good people around you, right? People say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are, right? So you need to have a group of people that you people are accountable to each other, right? You know when to stop each other, that, okay, no, we are doing this thing so much. Because that's what actually helped me. I, myself, and my other guys, we stay outside school. We call ourselves Agbo boys. So we are like three from 100 level to like 400 level till like 2 people joined us. I would say like 4 of us at first class. It's because like we are accountable to each other, right? If there are football events, some of us do play football, but when we know that exam tests and things are approaching, then we tend to just say, oh, we want to read, how far, what have you read in this course, how far, this social thing, okay, how far, I'm going for TDB, we want to go, you understand? So when you have a lot of people like that that are ambitious as yourself, it do helps actually deal with distractions on campus. I hope that answers your question.
My question is that based on the point from last department that no one is always in the same amount, there will be a situation in which a person can choose to be teaching and guiding people based on what does the class. There will be a situation he or she also follow the institution in which he or she know what they are told the class, so that others should not see the person as all know, so that they also should provide the help or guide the person in the course he or she needs to understand. I want you to advise you also
Okay, so if I should get the question correctly, is that in a situation whereby someone who is known to be a very outstanding student and the person teaches people and his classmates or those around him or her, so and there is another scenario whereby he or she does not know the parts of any course. So now, what I would like to advise us with is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَا لَكُمْ La tanasaru. If you look at that particular, I want to treat it with sorrowful for those who are very conversant with sorrowful and Arabic morphology. So it means at-tasharuk. So that's what the scholars will say. That is, you not just receiving help, but rather be assisting others too. Allah says, why not assisting one another? So that means as we are there in our field, it's not only you. You shouldn't be at the point of what? Of receiving only. Don't be at the receiving end only. Make sure you help others too. So one thing that happens in the University of Ibadan is that people whine a lot. People whine a lot. So although if you tell your classmates, even though they see it as an excellent student, if you tell them that I don't know, many of them could think at first instance that Shana, you are whining us. But make sure that you say it in a faithful tone. Let them know that in Makini, I don't know it. Please teach me. So it happened to me as well. So, but then let's be ready to be helpful as well. Not just be receiving, but also to be assisting others. So we ask Allah to grant you all and all success.
I don't know what what are you doing today? What are the questions? I know that's what I'm going to just play together. How do you come up with the so you know this why I'm going to do and then I was asked to move the down. Yes. So yeah, so two questions here with most of them. So really how do you balance work with school? You can answer that like 4 minutes. As for both of you, so now I have one answer that question. How do you balance work with school? Well, like as I said,
There are reasons like an actual balance between
particulars and also work you are doing, right? So it's just that there are days that you focus solely on academics, so academics take 80%, everybody 20%.
there are days that
The 100 level, there are days that need to be
probably 20, 80 like that. So there isn't like an exact balance. And also with what I'm doing, I actually took coding. I do code for my 100 level, but I'm not like that serious. I was serious in my final year. Yes, that was when I start like getting very serious with coding. Yeah. So there isn't like an exact.
that formula to okay, you follow this formula, this is how you find balance. You have to know yourself, know your capabilities. There are people that you don't need to read much. I don't need to read much to get an A. So I know myself like that. You have to know yourself, okay, I need to read quite a lot to get an A, and I need to keep this certain percentage. I need to reduce this and so time. So that's how to just find the balance. Second question. Someone said, what's the name of Brother Ahmed's YouTube channel?
Learn Arabic with Mutawakkili. Mutawakkili, M-U-T-A-K-K-I-L-I-Y. You don't get it.
Come on, this way. I will find in the past, like, start of the yes, it's not very fast. Then, there's a question here for. Okay, the person that said if you have to drop your job because you are a US student, no, you have his answer. Yeah, so someone said you want to cross from Belgium to MBS, what do you need to do? It means ridiculous. I've shown you because it means ridiculous and it's positive. Yes, this is how I lazy an average student advice you know man can wait. Yes. What else do you want me to do? I'm prayerful, I'm prayerful, very important. Okay, so what time are you in this leadership position? Does the one for work for leadership? I think many just see that as Abalene. And by the way, when is chairman of CDC Central Dawah Committee, or Central Mobility Committee, as we call it, but the main name is Central Dawah Committee, so it's chairman of all the imams and the purpose coordinators. So yes, how can you balance it with, because you are doing your work with school, you didn't mention that you're in another regards to school and also leadership position. How does she do well now? Yes, please.
So basically, combining leadership role with your academics, it is something very hectic. But the thing is that, one thing I will advise is that some people have been in that position before you. Yes, some people have been in that position before you. A poet, an Arabic poet says, لا تقول قد ذهبت أربابه كل من سار على الدرب وصل. Don't say some people who are outstanding, who can be outstanding in a particular position or field become. No, it is not restricted to them. Whoever follows the path of those who walk that path well shall reach where they want to reach. So that means always make sure that you look at some people who have been there before. Ask about it, how they were able to navigate the process. So I did that with my professors, and alhamdulillah, it helped me. So try to consult people. Don't just say, this thing is hectic. Please always try to ask. So when you ask, you shall be answered.
Somebody said how do you cope with financial struggles while in school? So there's a committee called an foundation, which we chairman. Yes. May Allah use it for you. You go and let people. I mean, what is it very fresh? BGS, too fresh. Somebody that was doing your BGS, you know, these students. Well, only just marrying the right. You say time for yourself. Okay, so this one, I will wait for this one. Okay, this is another question. So how do you know the people you work with right from 100 level? Because most people seem to be focused, but deep down they are distraction. You know, distraction. That's a very good question. So whenever I ask question, what do you have on serious? So yes, so since you are the community is 100 level, how do you know people that you work with from 100 level? Because the other people they look serious. Some people they will look very serious, but deep down they are distraction, like the person said. How do you know those people?
Actually, I'll say I don't have like a direct answer to this, but what I would say is that that particular question, I can actually relate to that question. When we are in 100 level back then, there are people they go to lecture theaters, do virtual classes, then they are go for TPPs, carrying big textbooks and every other thing. But at the end of the day, what I would say is that who has a way of filtering those people out for you. So at the end of the semester or session, everybody, you are going to see everybody's score. And by that time, you know people that are actually serious and people that are actually deceiving themselves. Right? So that would be my answer.
I hope that answers the question. Look before you leap. I'll do it. So somebody asked a question, did you make it a goal to be BGS or for class students from onset, or did it just happen? They has answered it. He said he did not. He didn't have a science.
Well, it's only like a goal that I can do BGS or something. But what I'm made of is that whatever I do, I make sure that I have excellence. So whatever that award or honor I come with it, it's not like a reward of acting excellence.
There's a question here about, I was going to keep this. Okay, last question. So if somebody, it's for people that they give them course and they don't want. So how do you fall in love with it? Because you talk about beyond now. Answer. I think we'll keep that question. So any other question we will not answer. But as far as there are 2 questions here that we will not answer, and we will answer them in our next session. People there are much more focused on that. So that's how to test our speakers. Any other question? So people subhanallah. Yeah. Let's be fast. Apart from who else wants to ask a question, it's Mike. Nobody have it? Okay. Alright. Actually, start with your name. Announcements. Okay. question is that. Wait, sorry. Those are full and those are not good. Last question in advance. Okay. So, what drive? What drives you like amidst all the ramifications and aspects of academics and extracurricular activity, everything like what will you know? This is the bad. What do you want? What do you want? Why do you want to go? Everybody can just quickly answer that. Was there any time that you wanted to before and why you didn't know before?
Well, like, I won't say, my own personal opinion, I won't say like this is really difficult. Because there were like times back in 300, 400 level, I don't know, yeah, I had the first class in the back, right? I don't need to actually do much thing and so I even like 500 level, I was staying with one of my friends and I wasn't really much because I had a first class in the back, I was focusing on other things. But what I would say driving is that, you know, as I said, when you have a process that you already know that you fall in love with these things, so it makes things much more easier because it's something that you actually like doing. You understand? So at the end of the day, you just replicate the same thing because you actually add a foundational level. Okay, I like doing these things because I like understanding things, right? I like understanding things to the point that okay, I want to explain it to others, so others are having problems. So that was like my 500 level that not lecturer that doesn't come to class, and when people check his past question, people realize that we are in trouble. Yeah. But the man is going to actually repeat that same question. But the issues we are having is that there wasn't a definite answer to some of those questions. For me, my 500 level, I said, I don't care about what's going on with academics, right? But because I actually like solving problems for others. You have to like push out and say how far we're waiting for a solution on this and everything. So that they have to like dedicate my time that okay, this is something that I actually like doing. I dedicated my time and provide solution to that particular past question. That was what most people actually get for the exam. You understand? So if you have a solid like process that actually like doing, then at the end of the day, there are days that you are able to like giving up. You might just speak to someone, I think that's the best thing. That sometimes that's why I do. Just speak to someone, try to just crash out or like talk or stuff like that. At the end of the day, one of the encouragements and other things to and then pick up from where you
So in addition to that, so the thing is that I just want to, because this is we have individual perspective. So what happened to us, what happened to the current us, or and so on, and challenging us. So one thing I would like to add to that is there is a particular saying that goes us. Remember why you start or why you started. So if you have this in mind and you keep repeating this in your head, remember why you did what, why you started or why you started. So if you have that in mind, that will help you throughout every day. So when you know that why you actually start something is very important. I'll give two scenarios. In other level, I did not meet for stars. Yes, I wasn't in for stars student. Out of 3 points, 4.0, I attained 3.48, very close to for stars. And someone who has been like at my primary school, I was BJs. Secondary school, I was BJs. So I look at myself like, hey, this is why. Wallahi, I was shocked. It shocked me. But that thing was that I usually play football online, but I won't play football to be part of the team. But I was a player at my backmates, like Agbabola, nobody. So when we entered 20 level, I was like, the reason why I started with that, I love this thing and I want to graduate well. So I stopped playing football. Many of my seniors, they were like, you don't know what I do. So you rather go from the departmental team. I'll be like, that's what I want. So that helped me. Remember why you started. There was a time when my academics clashed with a place, the secondary school where I was teaching. So that particular secondary school, that time I was very close to class and it was time for examination, the UI. And also the work was ongoing in that particular secondary school and I resigned. And that was a big means of livelihood for me at that time where I was earning something not really much, but it was very okay at that time. So, but because of my academic excellence, I signed for their school. You are like, "Ustaz, you did it." I said, "I did it, and I will not come back." So, at that time, alhamdulillah, as I left that particular work, I was able to what? To rise for staff. So, the thing is that always remember why you started. If you keep remembering that, you are only now, that will be a boost to everything.
One last question. This question will be answered by those. Oh, not those. Yeah. The formulas. If you want to have first class, why am I reading lines? If you want to have first class, is it necessary to attend tutorials or what the lecturer is teaching you to do as much as long as you are serious?
Well, that is kind of dependent on each person. Okay, for instance, let me use this man as an example. I don't think we had tutorials in 100 level, 200 level. If not attended any, as far as I know. Or am I? So he attended less than 10% of tutorials. That's because of his own capability. Meanwhile, myself and this man here, every single Saturday and Sunday, we are already at second. Yes, alhamdulillah, I made first class. He made first class. He also made first class. So first class ground law. So, but at the end of the day, we all made first class, right? So it is based on each person's ability. So in his own case, he knows that he can, whatever the lecturer taught him in class, he's able to like just read up on it on his own, and it's fine. In fact, I know of somebody that throughout his 100 level, it's not even somebody. Myself, throughout my 100 level, I attended maybe just like 4 classes. I mean, 4 school classes. But I know these tutorials. I'm not saying you should give out this class to hello class to. It's just me. That was what worked for me, right? And there will be others that they did not miss any of the classes and they also made first class. The point is just that know what works for you. In my own case, the reason why I did not attend class, I did not attend classes back then was because going to classes, I did not always learn going to classes. I learned better from seniors that were in charge of tutorials and going back to read those things that were taught at tutorials on my own. So I'm not saying you should not attend class. Just try to like, in this very early stage of yours, try to like test things out. Go to classes, go to tutorials, read on your own. Try to see which one works best for you. If reading alone on your own works best for you, then stick to it. And when I say stick to it, so that just make sure that that's very important. So if going to tutorial works for you, go to tutorials. If attending classes works for you, attend classes. Just try to make sure that you try things out and see whatever works for you. If there is a need for you to combine things, combine. And if it's just for you to stick to one, stick to it. To allow it.
Let's just have to know what's the point is that, my Farawi and Kuala Lopas, I'm going to see where go to that class, on pharmacy, not class you, on MBS, not class you. So, we are going to have a very quick game now before we go to our final session. So, we should visit www.society. In case you don't have data, what's the best for you? So, let's join Kahoot. You go to kahoot.it and you click on that. In case you cannot see it, the internet logo will be the 997 339. Let's join. Let's pass with start and move on as soon as possible. Please, your friends are going to go join you in the tutorial level. If you want to say friends are coming back from here. Brother, are you do that? Why are you happy? Did you join? Easy. Friends are good. And the winner of this game is going to get a very big gift. Of the gift that person will get is 50,000 example fellow. That's a good guy. That's the greatest thing. Can you also see the screen? You can see it. And yet you also see what the best for you to do. no, my son. I was going to promise you 50,000. I didn't promise you. I just said it. I'm not going to sit down and be doing exactly what I'm doing. I just said it by Joe, I go my promise you. Okay. Can we start now? And we will land. Is it unlimited? 40. I saw kind of 40. That's it. 3 more to go. How many? Yeah. It's having a challenge. Please, so answer the question to you. First question. Which prophet is known as Khalilullah? Friend of Allah. Still joining in the right. I can see. This one is too long. Ali, check my 7. Okay, no, that's not good. Next, the right. And we'll look at 20 people. Next, oh boys. Black Adam. I've seen Black Adam before. Hey, she said that's Black Adam, right? Yeah, you got this again. It's a candle. Yeah, man.
How many verses are talking about? So 282, 288, 286, 284.
This row is called the heart of the Quran. Okay, you are not here. Yeah, sorry. You slow to use. You are not here. Wait, how are you? So sad. Black Adam, use S. Right. I always use your wing. I'll start the wing with it. I'll start the Genesis. For taking to the
Israeli.
Evidence answer you bring the evidence for that answer. Okay, the 5 answers, the 6 answers, the 7. We are only with 8. I don't know what that is. You see, who is Yusuf? Everyone, you don't look at the question. Very power. The answer is 205. Now, answer is 205.
the will. It means in the act, are you? Is it this?
This
What is that?
Yusuf is eh? What like this?
Wow, yeah.
Hey, the one what like? Yeah, I'm getting rid of more like the scholars.
You? How many pillars does Islam have?
17. Wow.
7,
Fantastic.
4, 5, 6, 11, 10.
Yeah, itu pasti ada yang saya kuasa ni. Ini saya pun.
Wow, 6.
Wow. Ya, ini mana ada? Belu. Who is Belu? Who is Belu?
What's the name?
Who is Belu? Apa yang dia jawab sih?
Fresh,
Saya ini.
75, 15.
Belu belakang. Belu belakang.
Who was given the honor of placing the black stone flag in the procession of Kaaba? Abu Bakr, Umar ibn Nawfal, Muhammad ibn Abu Talib. Going. Wow.
Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí? Belu lọ sí. Who is Belu?
The more you postpone it, the heavier I become. What am I?
The more you postpone it, the heavier it become.
Class, food, assignment.
That's how it's my own. So that's my food.
Oh, is it food? It's not food. I arrived quietly, panic everyone, and disappear after a few hours. What has happened? Oh, is it fast?
Arrive quiet.
How many songs do Prophet Muhammad have? Both, 2 songs, both died in the fancy, 3 songs, all died in the fancy, 3 songs, 1 survived, 4 songs, all died in the fancy. Okay? Done. Wow. Brother, I think I'm the second aborted program, true or false? True or false?
Yusuf.
This is the name of the Amir of University Life.
Yes,
True or false? Yusuf. Wow, Yusuf is false because your false is not there are 7 words for president in UI. True or false? True. Wow. Okay. Sheikh Yaro and his attendants engaged pressure people. True or false? Is it false? Okay. Wow. Okay. So, what's the name of the PR like? Chitu Mubarak Olaleke. Chitu Mubarak Olaleke. Chitu Mubarak Olaleke. Chitu Mubarak Olaleke. Okay, so what you mean that? Wow. Okay. Which surah is the only one where every verse contains the name of Allah? Okay.
My side from Pastor. Check which one. Class is difficult.
The answer is quite obvious.
Yusuf. Yusuf is back on the
Yusuf, can you do it, John?
You can see this last question.
How many times does this man know your head get out of hand?
2 million.
One after the 4, one after the 3, one after the 3, one after the 3.
Come something. Ah, wow. What's your name? What's your department? MBBS. Ah, okay. How does it matter? You see, our Indian. Yes, our Indian. All right, sit down. Thank you, Sister Delu. But what's actually going? So congratulations to three of you. We have special gifts from the just MSN UI. They are going to be reaching out to you. Or get it over and message you and find a way to get your package. You know what to show the package? The entire world. Customers pay and win it. Foundation system. So is that all for our line? I'm making part two. Okay, I don't do part two. So I'm going to see that we are using chairs, carrying it up, putting it down, left and right, everything. We are going to the final part of our program for today, which is our panel session. And the panelist session, the woman is correct. If you go in, you can allow the use of it. It's not anything. So, the names of the speakers for today, I'm sure we are already familiar with training flyers, left and right, to know who our speakers are. Our first panelist for this session, we have been introduced earlier. He's been introduced earlier. He is the one that, when you hear it, say shut down. Say shut down. And so, all of you now somebody is saying, say shut down. Okay. When we hear his name, we say shut down. Simply because everything is a part of excellence. And it's a part of a lot of things. That's why I'm mentioning every single thing that is a part of. Is the, inshallah, even though they know advanced to know, the BGS of agricultural extension and rural development. We've got another BGS for you. Who can remind me of good persons? That brother there, you don't know me. No matter how old my BGS, we will play that in BGS. Now, like I said, BGS, agricultural extension and rural development, the former chairman business committee, the former chairman, the former member of the directorate of studies, took on a lot of students, left and right, motivated a lot of students, mentored a lot of students, a former imam of India Queen, India Hall. See Allah Akbar, sisters. Àwọn ará Queen's ìbínú. Ṣé ìbínú ni? I said see Allah Akbar, sisters. All the sisters, see Allah Akbar. Now, welcome because of our final session, brother Imam Adeyemi Fawaz Adebiri. Let's say Allah Akbar. I'm very welcome, sir. I'm very your questions like that. The second person we are going to be inviting, I mentioned it before that we are just hearing from people who have started very, very excellently. For my team. I'm learning from people that have started very excellently. This brother is a student of Department of Computer Science. He's a 200 level student, which means he was seated where he was sitting just last year, on last session, so to say. And he has done a wonderful job of coming out with a very, 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 very near perfect GPA of 4.94. 4.94? Correct. 4.94, which is very, very close to 5.0. So welcome with me from 200 level computer science, the best department in the best of Ibadan, Brother Fawaz Ibikule. Let's say Allahu Akbar. You can drop your bag. Báwo fún àti máa ń ṣe ìyẹn ṣáà tó bá yẹ káàkiri. You are welcome, sir. Now, that's coming. And finally, yes, finally, we are going to be inviting our last panelist for today. She is what's the word? Resourceful sister. And we have specifically brought her here because of the importance of the sisters seeing that you can achieve all the things that you want to achieve while maintaining your Islamic identity in the University of Ibadan. She, like I introduced her earlier, she is a graduate, first class graduate of the department, faculty of what? Of law. I don't know about things about her here. I'm not going to mention everything, I don't mention it, but you have a lot of time. She has served in the Muslim Society of Nigeria, I mentioned MSN AAC area. She has served in the AAC as ADOS for a number of times. She has served as another position that I cannot remember at the moment. And she has maintained Islamic identity, maintained her first class, maintained her Islamic studies, but she is an Islamic scholar, so to say, right? And she has done all of these things and still came out with a very wonderful GPA as a master's student, one of the best in the faculty of law. No other person for sister Olayemi Islamiyah. Let's say Allahu Akbar. Sisters, are you excited? Are you excited? Brothers, are you excited? I feel like excited. Now, so yes, and I will introduce myself too. The the moderator of the panel session today is a brother from, why are you laughing? It's a little ceremony. Now, please can someone help me with that second mic? Now, we'd like to, can you see from the back? But can you hear from the back? That's all that matters. It's lecturer that we ask you, can you hear me? You say move to the back. Now, so we'd like to appreciate our panelists for taking their time here today. We ask God to bless every single one of you and increase you upon point. So without wasting too much of our time, I'd like to ask the first question, which is that what was through the time that you've used in the University of Ibadan? I mean, for the graduates, the question is just like that. But for our brother in Trinidad, what was your mindset? Yes, thank you. When you came into the school as a fresher, how did it impact your whole endeavor as an 100-level student? Now, start with brother Awas.
My mindset, I resumed at the University of Ibadan. Well, would I say, fortunately and unfortunately, I applied for medicine, right? And I couldn't meet up the cutoff mark for medicine, and I was given agricultural extension. So, that would have, let's say, crossed my bubble that just go and study it like that. But as Allah will have it, it got to a point that either I got interested in the course. Because right from the onset, one thing that would always be resonating in minds of people that fall into this category is that you feel inferior to your mates that are in those, what you would call, big courses. I don't know, it's like a stereotype amongst freshers that there are some big courses, MBS, faculty of, those are in faculty of tech, pharmacy, nursing, and all of that. And computer science, I'm trying to relegate some other courses like agri, education, and stuff like that. But one thing that I got to realize is that irrespective of where you are, you just have to make yourself one of the best. And there's no how you will not be, you will be the shining light anyway you just find yourself. Right? So I changed that mentality when I changed that mentality when I entered 300 level. So when I was in 100 level, anytime they asked me my department, I would say,
I'm an excellent student. I have a very good CGPA. But what is it about my morals that would want to make a lecturer to say that I cannot vouch for you and as a result, I cannot write a reference letter for you when you graduate. So we are going to be talking about two things this morning. My academic performance, how I should make it very, very strong, and my morals, because you cannot leave one. You cannot operate in isolation in any place you find yourself. Even when you graduate, somebody working somewhere, if you are very good, you also have to combine it with morals. Let's start with the academics first. I'm a student, 100-level student. I have a vision. What is my vision? I should have a I want to graduate with a first class. How do I graduate with a first class? Let me start early enough. I have to submit my assignments. All my CAs are continuous, we call them continuous assessment. In some departments, they may give you about 7 CAs, 5 CAs, 6 CAs. Ensure that you attend lectures regularly. Because if you are not in class, you may not be able to determine what is being said in the class. Don't miss any lecture at all, because the purpose why, except if you are sick. If you are sick, you have a very good reason to miss lectures. Go to Jaja. Jaja is the clinic over there, they will attend to you. But if you are not sick, you don't have any reason to miss classes. Because some lecturers are fond of giving you impromptu tests. You enter the class and discover that the students are not many, and they will give impromptu tests. For some lecturers that are very strict, they will record that test. For those that are not strict, they may want to use it to threaten students so that subsequently they will be present in class. But you do not have any reason at all not to attend lectures. That is number one. If there is no water in your hostel, use whatever perfume you can use, wash your face with pure water, get going, and it's for just a period of 4 years. 5 years if it is medicine, maybe 6 years. All these things are timely. By the time you finish and look back, you'll be happy that you sacrificed many things to achieve what you have achieved. So when you submit your CAs on time, it's not about even doing your CAs. Submit them on time. Don't have any reason to go and meet a lecturer after the deadline. I don't like it. You shouldn't go to your lecturer after the deadline, because one thing is that by the time you start doing that, you are drawing attention to yourself. The lecturer may conclude that you are not serious, or the lecturer may want to victimize you because you have opened that channel for victimization. If you don't meet up with deadlines, it is also a problem for you. So try, when you say you submit an assignment, say on the 15th of April, make sure you submit to your class rep or whoever wants to correct it on that, before that date or on that particular date. Do not have any reason to go to a lecturer as a single person, be a male or a female, because you will be drawing attention to yourself. Try as much as possible to utilize your time very well. What am I doing when I'm not praying? What am I doing when I'm not sleeping? Do I read as I'm supposed to read as a student? Set a time for yourself, timeline, target. I want to be reading every 3 hours, in whatever 3 hours in a day. How do I determine understanding? You all should understand yourself as a student. I know what works for me. She knows what works for her. Whatever works for you in terms of assimilation is what you should do. And you do not go to students to seek for advice. You have course advisors. Go to them when you are confused about particular issues. Go to your course advisors and ask questions. Sir, I don't know about this. I need to be put through about this. I don't understand what this means. Rather than seeking for advice from your classmates or for those before you or those that are above you, ask your course advisor so that you will not be misled. Questions. Because you are a fresher, you need to ask questions. Don't keep things to yourself. And if you discover that something is not going well with you, speak out. If you see something that is not right, if you have a classmate or a roommate that you think something is wrong with, maybe emotionally, speak out, because this may affect you directly or indirectly. Monitor your CGPA. You can request for your booklets. If you feel that you did very well in the exam and you are being shortchanged in terms of marking, you can politely write your department, your HOD, requesting to see your results, your score sheets. Nobody will victimize you. It is part of the rules and regulations of academics in UI. If you are not comfortable with the mark that you score, you can humbly write to request for your booklet, and they will show you what you have written. And by so doing, you'll be able, at least you will be able to seek closure that I've seen what I wrote, I make mistakes here and there, and I'm going to improve upon it. So try as much as possible to utilize your time very well. That is the summary of all I'm saying. Try as much as possible. Don't while away the time. Don't just walking around the campus, make things that will not contribute anything valuable to your life. Start early, because the experience we are having about our Muslim girls is something that we can write home about, but at the same time, we are not too happy about it. In many departments now, we realize that when they want to recruit lecturers, our Muslim students are not there. We discover that some of them are not even considered because they do not make a first class or they do not meet up with the requirements. But the best time to start is now. Start now so that you don't look back and say, oh, I wish I had done better. By the time you start well, be in the class, look at the course outline, read according to what is being taught in the class. Then you find out that by the time you graduate, you'll be happy and you'll be fulfilled. You feel that satisfaction that I did not spend my 5 years, 4 years, 6 years just like that. So always ask questions. If there are courses you need to delete, courses you need to add, we have add and delete form. You can ask your advisor. You can delete the one you are not comfortable with. You can add, provided it is within the required number of units that you are expected to take as a student at that particular level, be it 100 or 200 level. So keep asking questions. By the time you finish 100 level, you would have had enough information about what you need as a student. The most important thing is for you not to be secluded. Don't feel isolated. Don't see yourself as somebody that cannot ask questions, because the only way to seek clarity is for you to ask questions when you are confused. That is it about your academics. About your moral life, always ask yourself, what type of person am I? What type of person am I as a student in the University of Ibadan? What type of character traits do I possess? Am I an individual that cannot coexist with other people? Am I a sadist? Do I like relating with people? What is it about my character traits that we want people to say that they can mix with me in a pleasant way? What is it about me that people would want to look at and say that he or she is a difficult person and we cannot coexist with this person? Always examine yourself. As time goes on, when you are in university, you get to know more about yourself than even you know about yourself. What is it about that my friend that I used to work with around the campus? Is she somebody that people would want to even reckon with? What is it about myself that I need to check as a student that my lecturers want to see? Because in my department, for instance, there are students I cannot vouch for. Even if you finish with a first class, I will tell you that I cannot vouch for you because you do not have good character. So do not be a difficult student. When you have issues, that is why we are here as student advisors, student advisory committee. We are many in that committee. But because this is an impromptu program, we couldn't invite others. And I'm sure by the time you're having your orientation week, others will also come and talk to you from other departments. What is it about me that when I finish and look back, my lecturers will be happy to receive me when I come back to the department? Do not have the impression that it is only your academics that will take you to places. You have to combine it with good moral life. Good moral life, I'm a pleasant person. People like talking to me. I don't cause trouble. When I'm in the midst of people, I ensure that being an amiable person, people can always relate with me. That does not mean people will take you for granted, but that means that you are mature and you can always be at peace with other people. So by the time you scale through all this, by the time you combine your academics with your morals, you will discover that as a student in the University of Ibadan, you do not have any problem. As you are doing this, please, your salat is very important. Don't put it aside. Say your prayers. When you have problems, say your prayers. Ensure that you do not take your salat as something that is not, you take your salat seriously. Always pray when it is time for you to pray. Do your ibadah, the things you need to do as a Muslim child, do them. Because all this that we are saying, we also need the help of Allah to be able to stay true. Please and please and please, we are imploring you that you should take your academics seriously, and it is the right time to start. If there are issues that you need to discuss, because we are from different homes and we have personal challenges that are different. If you have challenges that you want to address, you can talk to us so that we know how to go about it. There are Muslim brothers in your department, Muslim lecturers that you can confide in. Talk to them. Please do not wait till it is too late before you realize yourself. Always ensure that you do things at the right time and ensure that you do not do things when they are too late. As a student, your parents are not here. They are not here to tell you to do certain things. The more reason why you should not abuse freedom. Take advantage of the time that you have and spend it wisely. May Allah in His infinite mercies be with you. I pray that you finish and graduate successfully, and I pray that Allah in His infinite mercies will continue to guide and be your guide. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'll take 2 or 3 questions before I leave. If you have questions, you quickly ask before I reserve.
Thank you, Jazakumullah khairan once again. You know, when we started the program, I said, if you come to Central Mosque, nothing will do you. These are the people that will make sure nothing happens to you. So, like you said, if you have any questions, you can take 2 questions for our question list. Anybody? No question? 1 question. Okay, so take 1 question. Yeah. Name and department. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The lady that said you should do all it takes means you should ensure that you put in all your efforts to do well. Putting in all your effort does not mean you should sleep with a lecturer. I told you when I started my lecture that don't draw attention to yourself. By the time you start submitting assignments late, by the time you start coming for lectures late, by the time you don't do things that you are supposed to do at the right time, you are drawing attention to yourself. If you don't do things that you are supposed to do as a student, you are drawing unnecessary attention to yourself. Do you know that you can draw necessary attention to yourself if you are doing well and you are in first class?